Here we go now.
Here we go now. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. Let me know if you can hear me, see me, all that good stuff. Also, let me know where you are watching from and how you would rate this week's episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Of course, I'm back in the studio after my birthday trip. If you haven't joined the mailing list, then you have no idea where I went, what I did. But if you are a part of the mailing list, Kempire's Inner Circle, then you do know. Head on over to thekempire.com/join so you can get all the deets and actually some travel help in regards to if you're going to go to that particular city that I went to. Anyway, as soon as I came back, I said, we have to get the dream team together. I put out the bat signal to bring my faves back here on the channel. And if you're not following them, you should. And you'll see exactly why today. First up, let's bring up Grace Reports in the building. Hey, Grace Report.
Hey,
And
boo.
Lailah is here. What's going on, Lailah? Ladies, first of all, thank you so much for taking that. Because the thing is, with like cool people, I can put out the bat signal a few days before, and you guys are like, "Yeah, we can do it. We'll be there." Thank you. I appreciate that.
Always.
I do appreciate that. First of all, before we get into anything, this is our catch-up moment. Lailah, what have you been up to?
I have been blogging. I feel like I'm getting back into YouTube because over January, February, March, I was a little bit sick with my voice. So I wasn't making as many videos as I wanted to, but I feel like my voice is back, like I'm back in effect.
Oh my goodness. Our voices are so important when it comes to this work. OMG. Well, I'm glad you're better. Welcome back. Grace, Grace, I know you've been traveling and dipping and doing it. What's been going on, Grace?
Always. So I did my trip to Alicante in like the east of Spain, and we're planning my friend's bachelorette trip, which is coming up. We are going to be going to, where are we going? I forgot. We're going to Greece, but I forget which island we're going to. And KP's been really helpful with that because I think you love Greece as well. So we're sharing like Greek travel tips and all that cool stuff. So that's been a lot of fun. And otherwise, just enjoying life over here, you know, like 1,000,001 museums to visit.
You know, when I was away on my birthday trip, I restarted watching Emily in Paris from the beginning, just because I was like, oh, I just want to have that experience. I have to get back to Paris. I haven't been to Paris since before the pandemic, like literally right before January 2020. So I need to get back. And of course, don't be surprised if you see Grace and I link up, as long as she's still in town. Because Grace is always moving, which I can appreciate. I can definitely appreciate. Guys, welcome our dream team back here together again. If you've missed any of our recaps, we used to recap weekly Real Housewives of Potomac. They've been here to talk pop culture. They've been here to talk about Atlanta. So of course, anytime I can get them back here on the channel, and they will be back before the season's over to talk more about Real Housewives of Atlanta. But before we get to Real Housewives of Atlanta, ladies, have you been watching Bravo's new breakout city, Real Housewives of Rhode Island? Oh,
like this. I've been watching with one eye open. So I watch it here and there because it comes on, you know, right after Atlanta. So I watch it here and there, and I do like it, but I'm still trying to like keep up with like the names. You know what I mean? Like who is who?
yeah, it's kind of hard, but I have to say I made I made it my business to learn, but still I have
Yeah.
to remind the audience because I think the audience still very much like what you're saying. They still don't know who's who.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But based on what you've been watching, have you been enjoying it?
Yeah, I like it. I like it. I like yeah, I like the energy. Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Grace, have you been watching?
I have to admit, not really. I watched one episode because I saw like all these threads about it and people were really hyping it up and the clips and stuff. So I gave it a shot and I really did like the episode. But I have to admit, I had my best purchase of the year since last year was a movie pass. So like I go to the movies all the time. So I'm at the movies so much and I like don't have too much time to be watching, all the new shows that pop up anymore. So I had to like do a big binge watching session.
What was a
Yeah.
good movie that you saw recently?
I saw this movie with Bill Skarsgård and Coleman Domingo in it. It's Dead Man's Wire or something like that. Such a
Hmm.
good movie. I just watched. It's about do you guys remember at the BAFTA Awards where the person who had Tourette syndrome and
Yes.
yeah, I watched that movie and that movie was just really,
Oh.
really incredible. I watched a
Mhm.
Michael Jackson movie like 3 times. Like I am in the theater, you guys. I'm loving
Wow.
it. Yeah.
Wow. Camilla, have you seen any good movies lately?
No, the last time I went to the movies, it was a kid movie. It was like Wild Robot or something like that. Like the only time I really go to the movies is with our kids.
Yeah,
Mhm.
understandably. And I still have not seen the Michael Jackson movie. Do not throw eggs at me, y'all. Calm down. I've been busy. But this week I'm gonna make it my business to go see it. I know. I still need to see You, Me, and Tuscany, but I think that's out of the theaters now. But it's all right. We'll be wrong.
It's
Grace,
so
did you see that? Did
You
you
mean
see
Tuscany? It didn't come out here. It didn't come out here. Or maybe it'll come out like much later because we get movies typically like much later than you guys. I don't know when The Devil Wears Prada came out for you guys, but it just came out for us. So we watched it
Oh,
over the weekend as well. But yeah.
I mean, we got it like 2 weeks ago. Yeah,
Yeah.
over a
Okay.
little bit over 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks. I still haven't seen that either. Oh, Lord have mercy. I'm behind.
It
Look,
wasn't
we
great. I have to be
digressed
honest.
completely from Real Housewives of Rhode Island. However, I will say this, just to kind of entice you ladies, not that Bravo needs me to entice y'all to watch There Needs to Be or Andy Cohen. There is a lady named RHOA that's married to a podiatrist that apparently is cheating on her badly, and she wants Joellen, one of the other ladies, to stop reminding her about this cheatation situation. However, offline it's even juicier because the podiatrist apparently was arrested because RHOA went to the police department to report that he put a tracking device in her car. He got arrested. He almost went to trial. However, she dropped any charges against him. Yeah, and now the podiatrist, who's fugly.
I think I know who you're talking about. Yes.
The podiatrist who's
Oh
fugly,
God.
he's now suing the mistress who's constantly posting on social media about their affair.
Mm,
He's now
mm,
suing the mistress, and then now the mistress has filed a countersuit against him.
mm.
So if that didn't get you in enough, I don't know what will. I don't know what will. But last night's episode, if you guys didn't see it, and guys, I'll talk more about this tomorrow. But last night's episode, Rosie, Rosie and Kelsey, if you were watching the fight between them last night, you probably would think, which one is Rosie? Which one is Kelsey? Because those are the two you're definitely going to mix up. You're definitely going to mix them up. However, the fight went down in Rosie's house. Rosie shoving Kelsey out the door because Kelsey showed up with a bullhorn, a siren, talking about where's the 8,000 square feet. This is prime Housewives, just propaganda. But anyways, I've digressed. Speaking of propaganda, degrees. There are so many people graduating, receiving honorary degrees, faking degrees. Lailah, I know you've done a couple of videos about this Dr. Cheyenne stuff. I was talking with Grace just now about it too. And Grace says there's a teen mom connection. Please, lady, first of all, y'all want to teach me about this I'm going to put it in quotes, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant situation, because everyone keeps asking me to talk about it. I've talked about it a little bit, but you both are now apparently the experts because I had no idea about the teen mom connection or any of the details that Lailah provided in her video. So let's start with the history because apparently this stems all the way back to teen mom. Grace, break it down for us because I know you have a video coming up about this as well.
Yes, I do. So, about 5 or so years ago, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant started appearing on Teen Mom as some sort of mental health expert alongside Dr. Drew for like the reunion shows or when they would do other specials and spin-offs and whatnot.
Mhm.
And I remember being a little bit suspicious of her when I went to her Instagram page and I saw she had her name trademarked as Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. I felt it was a little bit different, odd for a doctor. So I went to her website and I saw she had all of these shady kind of like foundations and whatnot. And then, when you go to her bio on her website, I don't know if it's still up because this was 4 years ago when I did my little expose on her. But she was talking about her education in a very weird way. She was like, "Oh, I was 17 when I went to this university. I completed my master's program," which is not the way people speak. They would typically say, "I got my master's degree from this place," and she's talking about her doctorate. And when you go to look at these schools, they're shut down because they were scam schools. Because I think some of the regulations surrounding schools were a little bit loose in the U.S. So there are a lot of those scam schools that came out where people got these degrees where they wouldn't really be hireable because these are not accredited institutions. So that's where her master's program was from. And her doctorate degree or whatever was from. I think her only legitimate degree is her bachelor's degree. And it's just this whole thing.
So her master's degree is also a little shaky too then.
Yes.
Yeah, she never said she has a master's degree. She says she completed a master's program, which doesn't really mean anything.
Oh,
Yeah.
Layla, so bring us to what's happening today when it comes to Cheyenne Bryant, because I can't call her doctor.
Well,
Shout out to all the DR periods.
Yeah, we just gotta call her Cheyenne. That's what Lil Fizz they call her. That's
Nothing wrong with that.
But I just want to take it back to the masters because she made a comment on like the Joe Budden podcast that she stopped working under her license, which implied that she had a license, which you can have with a master's degree. You can have a license.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of professionals in the mental health space have masters. But I just want to add in her master's hasn't been confirmed. And also when I looked up her license, I didn't see anything. I looked in the state of California. I can't say I looked in every state. I can't say I confirmed. Maybe her first name is not Cheyenne. Maybe that's her middle name. I don't know. But when I looked it up, I didn't see it. So what's going on now? My last video about it, she did the interview with Marissa Mitchell on Fox 5 DC. If y'all haven't seen it, make sure y'all check that out. I had a person, Dr. Kofa, who graduated, her and her father both graduated from Argosy University. And she confirmed that it's closed, but you can still get your transcripts. And other students online have confirmed that too. Like what she said on the Breakfast Club, that whole thing about I can't get my transcripts unless I forfeit my degree.
Yeah,
it's not true. It's not true. And it's over. And one thing I noticed in her interview with Marissa Mitchell, she started bringing God into it. She started bringing God and, my sheep know my voice, which to me is a sign of a mental health issue because I believe that's something Christ said in the Bible, my sheep know my voice. So now she's speaking as Christ, saying her sheep know her voice. That's the present.
So what is her expertise? Yeah. Is her expertise relationships? Like what is her expertise?
Yes. Yeah. Relationships. Yeah.
So, and she became popular on social media because she was also on Basketball Wives. I don't remember that season. Yes. And she had an issue with Brooke as well. I see Brooke is coming out and speaking as well from Basketball Wives.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
okay. Yeah. She did Basketball Wives. And then I think she kind of flew a little bit too close to the sun when she started doing the podcast circuit. So with Cam Newton and all that stuff, she was seeing her profile rising more and more. And so she decided to just take things further. And I think the first big crack was when she did something with Offset. Offset had DM'd her. He was in the midst of his separation, divorce, whatever, from Cardi B. And he said in his message to her, he needed mental health support because he thought she was a real doctor, a psychologist, whatever. And so she tried to portray it as though he was hitting on her, which no real doctor would ever really do anyway, right? And so I think, and that happened last year, and I think slowly people have kind of been seeing through the veil due to her, just thirst for relevance or whatever.
Speaking of thirst, we're going to get into Shamia soon. Whenever
somebody says Lord.
Shamia, and look, the conference, in the thong, we're going to get into the thirst.
Her body her body's banging. As a gay man, I was like, wow, body is banging. I'm just saying, guys, you're just joining us. I'm here with the dream team. Grace Report and Lailah Lynn have joined us to talk about the Real Housewives of Atlanta. But I had to start off with some hot topics. Also talk about Real Housewives of Rhode Island. If you haven't already, be sure to like the video. It's an easy, free way of supporting not just my channel, but their channels will pop up as well. Other channels will start to pop up on your Explorer page. But be sure to follow our guests today. All their information will be available in the description, including their social media and what they're working on currently. So be sure to check that out. Let's get into the Real Housewives of Atlanta. How have you been feeling? Because now we're on episode, 7? So how are you feeling so far? Because now we're almost midway through. I can't believe it. Almost midway through. So the mid-season trailer should be coming in a couple of weeks. How are you feeling so far about the season? And we'll get to K. Michelle, because I don't even want y'all to talk about K. Michelle yet, because I feel like this entire episode is about K. Michelle. But how are you feeling about this current cast? It's a big cast.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, a bit underwhelmed, to be honest with you guys. I would like to see a little bit more of a shakeup. I feel like a lot of these fights are so like forced and about nothing really. I want to see like real drama, real beef. I don't want to hear about Black. I'm tired of the FaceTime calls and all this other random stuff, you know? So I don't know. Overall, to me, the season in general is like a solid 6, 7-ish. Like there's nothing groundbreaking about it to me personally.
How are you feeling though about like people like Drew, who's been there now? This is what, her 5th season, 4th season? How are you feeling about her? Because like you said, you're a little tired of the whole Black scenario of it all, even though we know there's a lot more going on with Drew, especially on TMZ.
Absolutely. I want to see the real stuff. I want to, I want more of the basement, cam to know what's really going on between her and Ralph. To me, that's much more interesting than like the forced drama that she's got with everybody else, essentially.
Yeah. Lailah, like, how is this season going for you? Like, what's standing out to you? Is it a good season so far?
I think it is. It's a lot that I don't like, but I'm still entertained. Like, to me, I don't like the Shamia and Kelly, the whole, knockoff freaking frack of it all. I don't like that. I don't like when 2 housewives kind of team up and anything that happens, like the people have to go against the both of them. Excuse me. I don't like that. But other than that, I like the season. Pinky talking about her bankruptcy every 5 minutes. I don't like that, but I still like the season. I think I like the essence of it. I think I love the essence of Real Housewives of Atlanta. I think that's what it is. So I'm entertained. I would give it like I would say maybe a 7.5.
That's not bad. Both of you gave it around like a 6, 7. That's not bad. I have to say, it started off a little slow because I wasn't too sure about the season, especially because of after last season. But I feel like this season versus last season is a lot better.
Yeah.
A lot better.
I would agree. Yes.
In regards to the newbies, again, I'm going to hold off on K. Michelle, but Pinky, you brought up Pinky. Yes, Pinky's talking about that bankruptcy, but I feel like Pinky's probably the only one giving us actually something that's real in regards to a storyline in comparison to everyone else. Like, ooh, Phaedra, what is she giving? Grace, how are you feeling about Pinky as an addition?
You know what? I do agree that she is kind of like letting it all bleed out because I think, she is the one in the worst situation of them all and really needs to make this kind of check and this platform work so that she can bounce back. I think the fact that she was ever even successful on her own shows that even if she does lose it all, she's somebody who can bounce back because at the end of the day, like, your strategic mind or whatever is something that can't be taken from you. So I am interested in seeing her and the bounce back. But that's what I mean, like I'm happy about some of these new additions. I want to see more of her. I want to see more of Angela. But I think we need to kind of fade out some other people in order to have more time to share these new, more interesting, like fresher stories overall.
Who do you want faded out?
Honestly, I think we got to pick one between Shamia and Porsha at this point. I'm so tired of this bestie, whatever, frenemy storyline. Phaedra to me hasn't really been adding anything other than the like, the looks and these little one-liners. We're not really seeing too much. I think she did bring around like a fake relationship similar to Porsha and the fake relationship she's got going on right now. Like, I want to see, honestly, Pinky. I want to see Angela. I want to see more Cynthia. I really, really love her. And I think she probably, is somebody who seems like they want to come back as well. Just like a better mix overall.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you, Lailah, how are you feeling about Pinky, but also Porsha or Shamia, if you had to choose between the two? Grace just put it out there.
For old time's sake, I would choose Porsha. I remember Grace was the first one to show me my error of my ways because Porsha was always my favorite. I was like, really now? And she kept picking up for me that if you look closely at Porsha, like it's a lot of lies going on. But I would choose her over Shamia. I feel like Shamia, like I said, I just feel like she's so thirsty. And I don't like people who have to like kind of like hook up with somebody else to go against another person. That really bothers me. But for Pinky, I like Pinky on the show, and I do think it's authentic. Like the shaky relationship with her husband, the bankruptcies. Like I think she's given her real life. I do.
Can we talk about because I love hearing the female perspective when it comes to the relationships. There's been so many times when we've talked about these husbands on this show that when I meet up with you ladies and we talk about it, I have a different perspective. I'm like, wow, I need to know your thoughts on Pinky and Derek's relationship. Oh, for the people watching, listen to the podcast, yeah, the faces. Go to YouTube and watch the faces. Layla.
Yeah. I did a whole video on it, and I normally don't do like standalone videos on somebody's marriage, but when he made that comment, had the whole conversation about I humbled you. Remember he said that to Pinky in like the first or second episode. I had to do a whole video on it because it seems like, when it comes to even if you or any of us personally don't believe in gender roles, a lot of people do. And so it seems like he is playing out his masculinity through Pinky, and how Pinky keeps saying people call her masculine, which I believe women have a mix of both masculine and feminine. But when Pinky says that people call her aggressive and people call her masculine, and then you see she's with a man that I've seen people call feminine, but it's like he's acting out his masculinity by humbling her, by bringing her down, by taming this wild woman. I think it's interesting. Even last night on the show, when she told him on the text, she told him, I miss you or something like that. And he was like, I know. And then when he got there and she told him, you look nice. And he was like, I know. Like, that's not as a woman. What?
I've seen things in that relationship that I'm like, can we have a word? Can we need to pay attention to some of these little things? Grace, like, what are you feeling about Derek and Pinky's relationship?
Yeah, it's pretty similar. I have to be honest with you guys. Sometimes when I watch like Housewives of Atlanta or whatever, I'm like, I feel so bad seeing like all these lovely, beautiful Black women like married to these men who like low-key hate them and stuff. And it was hot off of this stuff. I don't know if you guys saw this going viral on TikTok, but there was Tawanda Braxton at her marriage, on her wedding to her husband. And he's like, oh, like you actually like, I don't know, put on deodorant today. You normally smell like onion. And this is their wedding day. And I was like, oh my God, like we deserve so much better as women. Like what the hell is in the water? Like, it just, I don't know. It's so upsetting, to be honest with you guys. It just happens far too often, like it's sad. Yeah, I'll say that. But I will say it did seem, because I think there was an episode, I don't know if it was a preview or if it played out, but didn't he say that if he knew about the financial issues, he would have put that money up for her so that she didn't have to go into bankruptcy?
Yeah. He was offering the $5 million to do it, and she was like, no, she's trying to carry all this stuff on her own. They're an interesting couple. I just, and especially when how quickly their relationship went, meaning like they got pregnant very early on, then they had back-to-back babies, and so they had like 3 babies in a short period of time. I don't know. I have concerns, but again, we're watching a snapshot of their relationship, but I do have concerns. So I had to ask you ladies, like, how are we feeling? Speaking of concerns, again, I'm holding off talking about K. Michelle, but K. Michelle did an interview on Jason Lee and revealed before she came on this show, she had a whole other man that she was bringing to production. And then in the last hour brought a guy that, if you follow reality television like we do, we've seen this guy before. We know that they've known each other for a very long time. Dr. Caston, who is a dentist that she's dated since high school, on and off. However, we know she's had multiple relationships, and apparently one relationship she brought to production only to bring Dr. Caston last minute and get married to him last minute. Grace, what are your thoughts on the saga that is K. Michelle's relationship?
I think it's like fake and weird overall. I think like if she was tweeting or something recently about like her exes and Porsha was talking to her ex or this or that. Like, who cares? You're supposedly married women and this and that. Like, who cares about a freaking ex? You know, like I don't know. That's another thing that made me sad. Like watching that relationship, I'm like, oh, like all these fake relationships on RHOA. You have her and her fake husband. You have Porsha and her fake relationship with Simon and with Cordell, and then you had who else? Phaedra and her fake boyfriend. Like it's just so much fakery, and it makes me so like weird and sad. You know, like even Cynthia and her marriage of like 3 months or something like that. Like, why can't our girls get it together? It's an epidemic.
Right?
Yeah.
I think that was real.
Well, don't y'all remember that weird ass relationship? That weird relationship that did not last. Like the marriage was like 4 months.
Chill. Remember Chill? They got married during the pandemic.
It's so bad. You don't see real marriages on RHOA, and it makes me feel weird as a Black woman. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny, because speaking of fake relationships, Porsha has returned. You know, this is our second season since her hiatus from the Simon Gabadia of it all. But even in this week's episode, we see this guy, Mike. We saw him a couple of episodes ago, and now he's back in Dallas. She said, you know, he came in only for a couple of hours that you paid him for. Anyway, allegedly. I mean, Mike is a beautiful man, good looking man. If I'm going to hire someone to be my boyfriend, I'd hire him too. But now she's dating Sway, a woman. She's in her lesbian era that no one 100% believes. Layla, how are you feeling about Porsha this season and her relationships? I put in quotes.
I feel like this is her most believable relationship.
Which one, Mike or Sway?
The lesbian Sway. I feel like okay, I'm gonna say this. I feel like 70% is a real relationship because I feel like Porsha is really a lesbian. I do feel like that. And even when she was preaching in the pulpit and saying what she had to say, I felt like you see a lot of people in church do that because they're preaching against themselves. Like they're trying to push it down. So they try to minister to themselves is what they call it. So I do believe it's, for the most part, a real relationship. Now, I did mention in another video how, are y'all familiar with Country Wayne, the Country Wayne skits?
No.
Country Wayne, he's a comedian. Yeah, but he does these skits, these vertical skits. And so Mike is from that. Mike and Sway. And on the skits, like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like a reenactment of a Country Wayne skit because on the skit, first, I want to say it was a girl in the skit. First, she dated Mike and then she dated Sway. So it's kind of like, you know, what's really going on, Porsha. But I do think Porsha would probably be happiest with a woman.
Grace, what are your thoughts on Porsha this season and her relationships?
I definitely do agree that I think that Porsha prefers women. However, I don't know that Porsha is capable of having a genuine relationship at all. I think there's always something behind it, whether it's money, and I think that's her primary driver, or some kind of attention or something like that. I don't know that she's ever had a real, true, authentic relationship, and I don't know if she's able to. I think that there's some sort of disconnect, personality issue going on there with her that I can't put my finger on. Wow.
Guys, you're just joining us. I'm here with the Dream Team to talk about the latest episode of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Be sure to follow them. In the description, there are more details on what they've been working on and their YouTube channels as well. Shout out to those of you that are here in the chat. Be sure to like today's video. It's an easy, free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. Speaking of support, we are sponsored today. So let's play our sponsor. Hold on a second. Let me bring this up. Hold on. Lord, there we go. Shout out to Bowl & Branch for sponsoring today. You guys are always complimenting me on my skin, and it's because I take care of my skin. But it's not just about diet. It's not just about the products that you use. But what about your bedding? What about the place that you spend probably most of your time where your skin is being touched by it? It's your sheets. And one of the things that I've invested in is quality sheets where I lay my head. Some people don't even think about this when it comes to their skincare. And your skincare is not just about your face. It's about your entire body. So I'm excited about Bowl & Branch being a sponsor for today's live because they have quality sheets. Boll and Branch bedding, from their organic cotton sheets to their breathable pillows and comforters, is made with ultra clean materials that are gentle on the skin and free from harsh chemicals. Their fabrics are breathable, soft, and temperature regulating, so you're not overheating or tossing and turning. Because some of why you can't sleep at night is because of your sheets. When your entire bed is made with better materials, it supports the kind of sleep that actually helps your skin recover overnight. A lot of people start with the signature sheets and then add the matching pillowcases and a waffle blanket. I've been loving their sheets, their waffle blanket, but specifically I forgot the color. I think it's like a taupe that I got. Oh, I'm loving it against my skin. I really am. Because the combination makes the whole bed feel softer and cooler. It's one of those upgrades where you notice the difference the very first night. But of course, as I said to you guys before, I've been trying it out for the last few nights and I'm enjoying, first of all, it feels luxurious. Even the presentation on how they sent me the waffle sheet and the sheet set. I was like, okay, first of all, presentation is phenomenal. There are birthdays coming up. There are holidays coming up. This would be a fantastic gift to give to someone that you love, even yourself. And one of the things, and I've talked about this before, about pouring into yourself, it was just my birthday. Getting luxurious sheets, new sheets, fresh sheets on your bed that feel comfortable, that are, especially with how up and down the weather has been here in New York City, and I'm sure other cities where you guys are watching from, these sheets are perfect. They're cooling, they're comfortable, they're luxurious. Get into it. As always, you know there's a holiday coming up, and I've gotten you a discount. Get 20% off your first order plus free shipping during the Memorial Day sale at bollandbranch.com/Kempire with code Kempire. That's Boll and Branch, BOLLAND, branch.com/Kempire with code Kempire to get 20% off. bollandbranch.com/Kempire. Code Kempire. Exclusions apply. More information on Boll and Branch. Today's live sponsor will be available in the description. Thanks, Boll and Branch. Thank you, Boll and Branch, for sponsoring today. You know, sponsors keep the lights on, guys. So be sure to check that out and utilize your discount. And I'm back here with my special guest, Grace Report and Lailah Lynn. More information on them will be available in the description. We're talking about the latest episode of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And you guys have been sharing so many sweet comments in the comments section. I see you guys. Lakia says, I'm loving this conversation, and so are my neighbors because I'm out walking. I told them to check out Kempire. Thank you. And be sure to tell them to check out Lailah and Grace as well. Thank you so much, Lakia. We appreciate it. All right, so let's just even get into this episode. All right, so last week's episode ended with this fight in the Sprinter van. They're in Dallas. Cynthia is hosting this trip. They've definitely elevated Cynthia in a way that's not like your typical friend of. She's hosting this Dallas trip, and I need to know your thoughts on the whole room situation from last week, because Shamia and Kelly were given the pool house, but they did not like the pool house. They said the pool house was dirty. Grace, your girl Cynthia is hosting this trip. She needs to do better. What are your thoughts?
You know what? After watching the Real Housewives of Potomac and seeing the trip that Angel Massey put together, where there's no running water and all that stuff, I'm willing to give Cynthia the benefit of the doubt, because listen, there was the private jet, there were all the diamonds that came in and stuff. So to me, some things happened, but she really did try to give like a first class event. Like she did her thing.
Yeah. What do you think, Lailah? What do you think of the trip? But first of all, did y'all think the room was dirty?
When they said it could use a deep clean, I understood what they meant.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Yeah, because I think sometimes if you live someplace, you might not see what somebody else will see if they come in. So I understood what they meant, but I also felt like they were exaggerating it for the show. Like, I feel like they were trying to make a moment. They were trying to play victim. I felt like they were doing that on purpose. Like, it didn't require all that. And I felt like it was more like an ego thing. Like, us, we're not even the two newest members. And we got stuck in the pool house. It was more about their ego.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Grace, were you about to say something?
You know what? I think that's a really good, like, intuitive read. And I do know what you mean. Like, because sometimes, you know, when you travel and you take like an Airbnb or something, like you can tell when one's been deep cleaned and one's been like rush cleaned. You know what I mean? By the owner or something like that. So like, there's just this like energy or this film of something that you see. So I can get it. Maybe it's not something that really showed to us on camera, but you know, that's evident when you're there.
What do you think about what Layla said, that maybe it was more about an ego thing as opposed to really a deep clean thing?
I could totally see it being a thing. Because listen, at the end of the day, Shamia and Kelly are really, really thirsty people. And they really are always looking for this opportunity to turn, like, you know, the smallest thing into the biggest thing. And so this was that opportunity. So I could definitely see what she's saying there.
I think Cynthia did a good job, because I already know that these two are going to be very loud. They're going to be screaming throughout the house. They're going to be screaming and twerking. And we literally saw footage of that last week of them screaming and twerking. I was like, yes, put them in the pool house. Based on what we saw, because it's hard for us to determine. We're watching an edited version of this. Based on what we saw, it didn't look that bad. The rooms didn't look as good as the other rooms in the main house. But I'm like, I wouldn't care. Like, the majority of the time, we're going to be in the same house, and we have our own pool, and we can be away from the rest of the group. But I get it. They're arguing about not the cleanliness. They're arguing about the show and what this means for them being subjugated to a whole other place. Egos.
It
But
is.
last week's episode, say it again.
Sorry, is it logical to you guys? Like, if you guys were Shamia or Kelly, like, would you feel the same way? Like, okay, there's Pinky here, there's Kelly here, Kate, Michelle, sorry, like, they're newer, they should be in the pool house. Like, what do you think?
I don't think it's logical, but I think I'm a different person. I can stand in my own truth. I know who I am, and I don't think they do.
That's why they have to team up. That's what I'm saying. You Empire all by yourself, but other people, sometimes they have to team up to be something, to have a voice. And that's how I feel about Shamia and Kelly. They're codependent.
And if you pay attention to like their confessionals, they definitely have each other's back. Like they're not telling on each other. They like, there's certain little things. I'm like, well, was Kelly looking at Porsha's snatch like that? And Shamia's was like, where was I? I don't remember that. And I'm like, but we will get to that. But speaking of Porsha and Kelly, Porsha and Kelly, in last week's episode, it ended with them fighting in the Sprinter about this whole married man situation, which Phaedra put a kibosh on them mentioning who this married man is. I need to know, Grace, we'll start with you. Your thoughts on this fight between Porsha and Kelly, because you already know how it began with Porsha saying Kelly was sleeping with a married man, and she tells how she found out this piece of information, and she doubled down on how she found out about this piece of information. What are your thoughts on that? Believe it?
No, you know, to me, if Porsha's lips are moving, she's lying. I have a hard time believing anything Porsha ever says. And it kind of reminds me of the season after she had to come back from the Simon divorce thing. And she tried to make it into Drew is sleeping with married men, and Drew is the worst person ever, and all that stuff. To me, it felt like the same playbook overall, to be honest with you. Yeah.
I do get a little deja vu in these last couple of episodes with Porsha, with the narratives that she's playing out. Even this week with the whole Kelly was looking at my snatch. I was like, what in the candy is going on? It's feeling like we're repeating storylines from yesteryear.
Yeah.
Layla, what are your thoughts on this beef between Porsha and Kelly? Oh, you're muted. You're muted.
I was wondering the same thing, especially when Phaedra got involved, and Phaedra was like, wait, don't tell it all. It kind of gave, okay, I think add it again. Is this another 2-man where, you know, they're doing this plot scenario like season 9, like where they're making up stories, but they got each other's back on the story? I don't know if it's real, but I will say this. The only thing that made me think it might be real is when Porsha first brought it to Kelly in front of K. Michelle, and that conversation when Kelly hugged her and kind of like made amends with her.
Yeah.
I thought that was strange. And I kind of felt like, okay, is it some truth to this? So you're making up with her so she will keep your secret.
Oh.
So I don't know.
But the thing is, then later when she met up with Shamia and with Angela, she was calling Porsha all, you know, Horsha and things like that. So if she really wanted to put a kibosh, wouldn't she have just left it alone?
I don't know. This is what I mean when I say, like, some people are hard to figure out. Like Kelly, to me, is hard to figure out. She doesn't really stand on her own. And so I feel like she has to have a certain person there with her in order to say how she really feels.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
She really hasn't brought it to Porsha. She's been a confessional gangster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
But so they're fighting in the Sprinter van talking about this. And then Porsha brings up this story about when they were in Miami after their Grenada trip. And she said, I was taking a little bit of a hoe bath. I was like, oh, okay. And then she says that Kelly saw her vajayjay and she was just like, oh, I want some of that. Shamia doesn't remember that at all, I think conveniently. But then again, I can't, as Grace said, I can't take Porsha at her word because her word ain't bond. Okay. You know what I mean? So I'm not too sure. Like, do you believe that, Grace, that's what happened? That Kelly was trying to get a little something? Because she even says when they were going up to their rooms, Kelly was trying to go to Porsha's room.
It would be weird if it happened. I can't see it. To me, that sounds like maybe she felt like that's what Kelly was giving. If Kelly saw her coochie, she was probably like, oh, she probably thought this is the best coochie she ever saw. I don't know. To be honest, it was just so, grasping at straws for a storyline at the end of the day with that one. And to me, they're too old for this. We have real drama. We've got real things going on. Like, who cares?
Yeah. Layla, did you believe the Kelly wanting to smash Porsha?
I find it hard to believe. First of all, I've always felt back to the whole bad thing. I've always felt like, why not just take a quick shower? Because if you're taking like a 5-10 minute whole bath, you could literally just jump in the shower for 5 or 10 minutes.
We're talking about Porsha though.
But then doing that in front of people is also
a little whorish.
I don't want to call anybody a whore, but I feel like it's strange. I feel like it's strange to do that in front of people.
I agree.
Yeah. So I guess I'm still there. But overall, I find it hard to believe that Kelly was like scoping out Porsha. Like I can't see it. I feel like a man would do
Kelly
that.
can't help but scope out because she's so small. You know what I mean?
She's eye level with it.
You know what I mean? Like you're taking out. Look, let me picture it. Let me paint the picture. She's taking the whole bath in front of them, and Kelly's so small, and she's like, "Well, damn, I can see all of your stuff. I'm down here." You know what I mean?
Perfect height.
This is a very uncomfortable conversation about the vajayjay. I'm just saying. I will say this though, they quickly move on from this and they start talking about the rose. Do you guys I didn't know what the rose thing was. What's the rose thing? Please, Layla.
You've been calling Grace. Now all of a sudden it's please, Layla.
Please explain to the audience what this, because they move on quickly from fighting to talking about the rose, and K. Michelle is so confused. I don't know why she's so confused. She was on Love and Hip Hop. She's done multiple reality shows, but she's confused. Grace, what's the rose thing?
Well, I was wondering too, especially because Porsha's rental boyfriend came with like the golden rose, and I was like, "What is this whole thing?" It sounds. The only thing that came to my mind was that there's like some sort of like intimate toy, intimate toy or something like that. So I'm wondering if it's like kind of like a reference to that. But
it's a vibrator.
So I guess
that's I use the context clues based on everyone's reaction. They were like, "I had to get that out of my house," Shamia said. So I'm assuming it's some sort of candy coated nights situation.
Yeah,
I would say it's a viral vibrator. Like it went viral. Yeah.
Also, so a lot of people knew about it. Because apparently everybody there knew about it. K. Michelle seemed really confused. We could start talking about K. Michelle now because this episode is all about K. Michelle. K. Michelle seemed really confused as to how they went from arguing, Kelly and Porsha, to laughing about the rose. Layla, what was your perspective on that moment?
Oh my God. I don't understand K. Michelle. Like it was a little bit, I guess if it's a real life, like if you're in a real life scenario and that happens, you would be confused. But when you're doing for reality TV, I think anything is game. You know what I mean? And K. Michelle has been on at least 3 reality shows. So she's professional. Yeah. So she should know how this all works. And so I think she's playing a game when it comes to her acting confused and things like that. I think she is playing a game. not them. She is
Wow.
being me.
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
so
Grace,
too.
what did you think?
Honestly, this whole episode, because I always felt like K. Michelle was a little bit off, but this episode to me, and obviously I can't diagnose her, I'm not Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. She was giving
Could be, but you could be Dr. Grace.
Yes.
trademark. She was giving histrionic like vibes, you know what I mean? Just like really, really just it was not adding up because like you guys said, she knows the reality game. She's a reality television veteran. And then when she causes all these scenes about how like, oh, somebody hurt her so bad and she's in this room, but I'm not gonna name her and all this stuff, like, oh my God, girl, be quiet. It was, she to me, she doesn't seem like she's well up there, to be honest with you guys. It was a very alarming episode.
I have to say this. You know that K. Michelle and Tamar have had their back and forth. I think it's because they are cut from the same cloth. They are the same person. And I don't know how I didn't see it before, but I definitely see it now. Layla, you're going to say something. I'm sorry.
Oh, God.
It's okay. There's so much more to talk about when it comes to that. If you haven't already, be sure to like the video. We're not even at 500 likes, but we have nearly 2,000 people watching on multiple platforms. People like the video. You got Black content creators on here struggling to get the attention of sponsors. Come on now, like the video. Just saying. Anyway, I've digressed. All right, let's fast forward to this dinner. So they get to the dinner. Pinky is sick as hell. We didn't talk about last week how Cynthia brought that lady to that restaurant and there were no vegan options. According to my sources, no, there were vegan options, but she chose to get some fries. But she was drinking this tequila. She is sick as a dog. She's in the bathroom. And Cynthia got a little dark side to her. She was like, and this is why you got to be nice to people. She goes to check on Pinky and she's getting Pinky some bread and some ginger ale. Pinky is messed up. I felt for Pinky. I was like, damn, this is what you don't want. You don't want to be sick on a cast trip like this. So she's in the bathroom puking up, and then the ladies are at the table, you know, having their moments. And we see this moment that I didn't clock until we get to it later. But Porsha's talking about the oysters, and she's talking about and associating them to a vagina and talking about the cleanliness of them and the smell of them. And if you pay attention to K. Michelle's face, K. Michelle is sort of like, making a face. And I'm thinking to myself, well, why is K. Michelle making that face? It makes a little bit more sense a little bit later. So Porsha's making that, and Angela finds it to be weird. Cynthia's laughing about it. Drew's like, oh, what are you doing? Ladies, in that moment, before you knew what you knew, Grace, what were you thinking when Porsha was doing that?
To me, just felt a little bit, you know, she's up to something because it's not normal, real, you know, regular conversation too much. I don't know what it is behind this, but, you know, she's referring to something.
Layla?
I felt like I had to see it twice to get it when they did the playback. That's when I saw it, because at first when I was
rewinding,
I didn't think anything of it because I've heard people make those comparisons before.
Me too.
And when they played it back, I was like, okay, but Kelly was just saying Porsha had a chili Cheetos, whatever, chili hot fries, you know, lady parts. So then I thought it could have been that, like it was on her mind because Kelly just made those comments about her. I do not know that Porsha was referring to K. Michelle, because I don't think when I see K. Michelle, I don't think of those rumors about her.
Me
I had
either.
to search it. Yeah. So if I was K. Michelle, I feel like I wouldn't even have owned that. I wouldn't have brought that to the show. You know what I mean?
And that's the thing. There are a lot of people that do not know who K. Michelle is that watch Real Housewives, and they're getting familiar with her now. She's the one telling her own tea.
Because they never would have known. You know, not everybody
forgot about that story.
Yeah, I don't remember it because I don't report like on stuff like that on my channel, so I don't remember that. But I had to look it back up. Yeah,
I don't report on it either, but I pay attention to those streets, and I remember it was Mano who said it, and then she confronted Angela Yee on the Breakfast Club for not saying more.
Oh, I remember that confrontation. Yeah.
But again, no one would have thought about this without K. Michelle. And could she be sensitive? K. Michelle claims later on that someone called her and said that this is a plot. People were going to come for her. She's saying that Drew was going to come for her in regards to associating K Michelle with Black, the hookah owner, and Porsha was going to come for her. She says that it was Porsha, Phaedra, and Drew. Okay, so you saw K Michelle's face in that moment. We're gonna get back to that because in the breakfast that I had to rewind multiple times because I was very confused. I was like, wait, even the replay of me watching it again this morning. That's why I was a little late. I was like, rewind. Like, I don't like. Am I confused? Okay. So K Michelle looks at Porsha. She doesn't get it. She's like, why is Porsha talking about associating vajayjay? And like you said, Layla, I've heard that before too. People associate oysters to a vagina. Fine. So K Michelle looks confused. K Michelle then says to the group that because Angela is the new Sheree. Angela is a producer. She's keeping the story going. I'm not mad at it, to be honest with you. It's very, very producer-like, but I'm not mad at it because if she wasn't there, I feel like we probably wouldn't have a show. And she's not even a veteran. So she's asking K Michelle, like, how are you doing? You know, you express concerns, about this group. And then K Michelle says, this is not a safe space. Okay. She says that it's not a safe space and they want to have a better understanding. So she doesn't understand the dynamics of this group. She doesn't understand how we are arguing one moment and then all of a sudden we're laughing at the next moment. Okay. And she says that she's been standoffish with Drew because Drew keeps trying to associate Black, her friend, with K Michelle. I need to know, Layla, your thoughts on the Black and K Michelle of it all. They flash back to when we see at Porsha's party when K Michelle's waving to Black in the phone.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think it was a little flirtation there. And being that she got married so quickly, I don't think she cut off all her loose ends before she got married. So I think there was a flirtation there. And that's why you do see, at first she was acting like she left him on red, but then you see in later episodes, she was communicating with him. So there is something there. But I want to say this. Remember when they were talking about, should we investigate? Because Kay didn't name any names. We need to find out what she's talking about. Mm-hmm. And there was a quick confessional of Drew. And Drew was like, well, maybe we don't need to investigate. Maybe it's not real. That made me think it's real. That made me think that Drew is saying something behind the scenes. Mm. So I do think K Michelle is doing the most, not naming names. But I feel like Angela forced her to talk before she was ready. You know what I mean? And so she didn't name names because she wasn't actually ready to talk. And but I do think it's something there that Drew is doing behind the scenes.
Yeah. Grace?
Yeah, I can agree with that. I feel like Drew's always, doing some really, really, really slick stuff that you could very easily overlook because she's so subtle with like her mess and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I don't know. To me, Kay's alleged marriage seems so fishy there. So I still don't really believe it's a real marriage. And I feel like maybe there is some contact really happening with these other men and stuff. Maybe it's not even just Black. I don't know.
Yeah. I agree with you. I do believe that Drew or even Porsha and Phaedra may have been plotting behind the scenes. But I think K Michelle should have let it play out instead of jumping to conclusions and making us all confused, including the group. Now they're all like, what are you saying? Because she didn't make it play out. Now we're thinking about this Mano story. We're thinking about, is Drew trying to associate the Black of it all? But clearly there is some sort of association with Black because we saw the DMs that don't necessarily vindicate her as this just being a friendly situation.
Yeah.
Layla,
yeah, because when we talk about Black, I feel like this show needs to expose like the men who are chasing clout on this show. When we talk about Black, I feel like he's a clout chaser, like from him allegedly dating Tamar Braxton, Super Scent, Drew Sidor, like all these women that are allegedly. And so Grace, when you were talking about, how you feel bad for the women in Atlanta, it's kind of like this is what they're dealing with men like Black Smoke, Dennis. I think Dennis is the biggest clout chaser, but Black Smoke, Dennis,
the guy that Kelly brought to Porsha's dinner, apparently everybody knew him too.
I heard something about every man there. Mike, is it say Mike? Portia's the big arm guy. Yeah. I feel like they should do more exposing of the men on this show because they always kind of they
But
place
do you
women
think if they expose the men, would they expose that these ladies are hiring these men?
I don't know that they're hiring them so much as so these men want to be on reality TV.
Okay. Okay. Grace, do you think they should expose these men?
I would love it. I love to see a man get exposed. You know who I started thinking of when you were like talking about it? I'm like, what about Cynthia's man? I think her man is like, you know, from a different country or whatever, but like, have there been any rumors about him and whatnot?
I mean, I could find out. I know, you know, I got people with their feet on the ground in Amsterdam, but I haven't heard anything.
I hope not.
He's a tourist. He's fine. I'm sure. I mean, I hope so. Look, 'cause at this particular point, we've seen Cynthia go through so much. I don't need Cynthia to go through anymore. Let her ride this out and be a friend of hosting a trip.
I feel like she should be a housewife. They could trade her and Phaedra. Because like y'all said, Phaedra just gives, you know, a little commentary. Phaedra's like a YouTuber. Yeah. So they could trade Cynthia and Phaedra.
Agreed. I love Cynthia on there.
Lord have mercy. All right, let's get to this breakfast. Guys, you're just joining us. I'm here with my special guest. The Dream Team is back together. Grace Report and Lailah Lynn. All the information is available in the description. Be sure to follow their YouTube channels as well. They've got a lot of stuff coming up. We've got the whole Teen Mom Association with Cheyenne Bryant situation coming up on Grace's channel. Lailah, you have something coming up too that you've been doing, teaching the people how to do social media. Come on.
Yes, tell them about my school. I have my school, Lailah Lynn's Creator Club, where if you want to talk to me about your channel, like we have group sessions. If you want to talk to me about your channel, if you have questions about your channel, I've been doing this for 10 years. So you ask me your questions and I give you answers. I give you advice on your channel. So yeah, just click the link and join my school. My school is actually free to join. And then we have group calls, and our group calls are like a really low price. And we all just kind of give each other advice. But I kind of lead the way as far as what I've experienced as far as growing my channel on social media.
Amen. And more information on that will be available in the description. We also have a couple of super chats. I want to say thank you. Kendra says, K. Michelle is starting to act like Tamar. I think she's always been like Tamar. The more that I think about it, I'm like, she's always been like Tamar. J.I. is here. J.I. says, OMG, it's the Dream Team, fire emojis. Always love the reviews with Grace and Lailah. Now I'm distracted here at work. Team Porsha. K. Michelle needs therapy. I think the silicone's affecting her thinking. Damn. You could always do. I knew so. At first I was like, this is starting off a little too sweet for J.I. This is starting off a little too sweet. Let me keep going. Oh, JB, thank you so much for the super chat. JB says it's giving Dr. Taye Mohammed from RHOA.
Oh.
Yeah.
Remember him?
Oh my gosh, y'all really been taking it back. Miss Parker, thank you for the super chat. Miss Cheyenne is a top tier grifter. Okay, she went to Charlatan University and she reeks of snake oil.
Charlatan University.
Duchess Gore says Cheyenne looks like she could be related to Ashley Darby, so I believe nothing she says. Also, happy belated, Kev. Thank you. Gosh, not Ashley catching a stray. Kathy says, thank you for the super chat, Kathy. Says, I only watched one episode and my thought was, I hope Phaedra didn't say anything about Kelly to Porsha because isn't Phaedra her attorney? Oh, yeah.
Can I, let me read it again.
Oh, hold on. Let me go back. Oh, damn, I lost it.
That's okay.
Okay. Let me say thank you so much for being a member, host, Houston Foodie for 11 months. K. Michelle is lost on this show. Oof. You want to say something, Lailah?
No, I was looking for it, but that's okay.
I wish they would save it on this side. Like I saved it, and then when I let it go, it disappears.
It's okay.
Naza, thank you so much for the super chat. Naza says, but do you think Porsha actually meant it in a malicious way, or was Porsha being sexual and wanting to talk about lady parts? Honestly, I think even if there was a plot, I think that K. Michelle should have let it play out. But now she looks like the villain here because, for all we know, Porsha was just being Porsha, talking about lady parts like she likes to talk about lady parts.
Mm-hmm.
Jim Jam, thank you so much for the super chat. So why K Michelle felt comfortable barefaced today? Because that was a part of a thing. A couple last week's episode, the previous episode, where K Michelle's like, I don't have glam, so I don't want to come down, but yet she filmed with Shamessi and Shorty at the pool. Tear, thank you so much for the super chat. Tear says K Michelle made it clear that Phaedra is now one of her best friends. Would you be best friends with someone that plotted against you? There was no plot. Kay is crazy. That's what I was thinking too. I was just like, well, then if you really thought there was a plot, and here's the thing, K Michelle keeps saying that there's a plot in this week's episode of RHOA. And it feels as if you were plotting, because based on some of the things she said in interviews and what she said on the show, it seems like you were plotting about this cast. Like you were doing your research on this cast. You literally bring up in this week's episode about Drew's husband living in the basement. Yes, everyone probably knows that, but I'm starting to see a pattern that she seems to know a lot about this cast, and I don't know. I think she's the one plotting it. She's paranoid.
She's extremely paranoid. Yeah, a lot of this episode is based around K Michelle's paranoia. Her paranoia that Porsha is talking about her with the whole oyster thing. Her paranoia about them plotting and planning against her, which, it may be true, it may not be true. Yeah. But I feel like one of the themes of this episode was paranoia.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. It made me paranoid. Were you guys paranoid watching? Because I was like, wait, it could be.
Right. I was paranoid. I was like, since when is K Michelle white? Because she was looking real light in that scene.
Oh, damn.
I'm just saying. I don't know if y'all noticed, but she was.
No, I noticed. I know. Well, let's talk about her paranoia before we move on into the episode, because this episode led into social media, a back and forth between K Michelle and Porsha too. Let me just read to you all of the tweets, because first of all, you see the original tweet here. K Michelle says, "Don't sit and wait, sit." I guess she meant sit in my face and play like you don't know what I'm talking about. You want a reaction, you can have it. Say it to my face or be a quiet coward. So Porsha logs in to her Twitter account and reposts it and says, "Who is a coward? I would define a coward as a person tweeting from the same house 2 doors down from me. Next time, let's do our job and bring it to my front door real time. That's how it's done on RHOA." I was like, not me being Team Porsha on this situation, but if you came to my live show, I had gotten tea about the season, and I already told you what I was hearing was that K Michelle was not delivering. And I was like, I didn't want to base it off my opinion on until I saw it, because I'm hearing that. However, what's the edit going to look like?
Right.
Well, apparently my source was correct. The tweets weren't done though. K Michelle, you see the follow back, see the follow. I ain't following her. Nope. She already unfollowed me on X. Not X. She already unfollowed me on Instagram. She followed me at the top of the season before the season started. I said, let's see how long she stays. She didn't block me though, y'all, because y'all gonna run around with a narrative that she blocked me. She did. She unfollowed me. Okay, because I can still see her profile. I can't see Porsha's anymore. Porsha blocked me, then unblocked me last season, then blocked me again. Porsha, let's make it a threer. Unblock me, and then I'm sure I'll say something for you to block me again. But K Michelle, it's what it is, y'all. K Michelle wasn't done. She said, "I don't care how crazy it looked. All that BTS behind the scenes producing these ladies did. I knew about all of it. I sat there and watched quietly. I'm not new to this." But it seems like you are new to this. Doesn't it feel like she's an amateur reality television?
She says she's trying not to get past the show. So
I think she's too paranoid. I think she's too self-aware. She was paying attention too much to what people were saying about the love and hip hop of it all. Girl, all they just wanted to make sure is that you didn't, start knuck if you buck situation. You can still clap back.
That was Drew this episode.
And I wasn't. People take us courses because we're sweet and demure sometimes that we can't get crunk. And she's from Chicago. Yeah. Okay, Michelle. Oh wait, let me go here. Hold on. Okay, so K Michelle responds to Porsha and ats her and says, no different than you being 2 doors down from me effing on my ex, sitting in my face like you a girl's girl while telling him my business, damn bimbo. Which ex is she talking about? I can't keep up. Is she talking about R. Kelly? Does anyone know? Who is she talking about?
Grace.
That's a good is it Idris Elba? Because remember how K. Michelle and Idris were allegedly dating, and the fallout of that was insane. Gossip for like months.
I love that
And a
one.
good song. Maybe that was it. Maybe I Should Call. I love that song from K. Michelle.
Yeah.
That's about him.
Let's just say it's Idris. Yes. Porsha.
I'm thinking it's R. Kelly. Y'all say it is. It could be anybody at this particular, especially in Atlanta.
But
Sway.
I thought about that too. I was like, is it a man? But then she did say him. Yeah. But the part that's getting me confused is she's saying that Porsha is telling her business to the ex. And I'm like, okay, we know Porsha knew you since you did the movie together. But like the time frame, you know, I can't pinpoint who the ex is either. But I would love to know. I would love to know.
Aisha says, isn't Idris married? Now he is. Now he's married, but not when he was dating K. Michelle. All right. I had a couple more tweets because they weren't done. I had to keep adding. I was adding these last night, and I was like, oh, I gotta add another one. So this is what K. Michelle said to Porsha. Porsha, come on, Porsha. Porsha says, ooh, Twitter fingers shaking the table. Hashtag activated. And she adds K. Michelle. Porsha, I have to give it to Porsha. But K. Michelle wasn't done. K. Michelle was on social media, ripping a new one. Just like, keep watching. Y'all know my character. Don't sit and like I said, my face and play like you don't know what I'm talking about. You want a reaction, you can have it. Say it to my face or be a quiet coward. We saw that one. She says, I'm definitely crying when I'm mad at risk returning to my old self. Okay. Then she says, I don't care how crazy it looks. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know if this is for K. Michelle. I don't know if this is. I don't think reality. Why is she even back on reality television?
Well, I have a theory that she's specifically back on Bravo because she wants a diverse audience because now she's doing country music. So she doesn't just want the love and hip hop girlies. She wants a diverse audience. That's my theory.
That makes a lot of sense because she's still doing those R&B concert circuits because that pays the bills. I'm sure. I can believe that. Grace, what's your theory? Why is she on this damn show?
Honestly, I do believe she wants to get her music back out there in front of people. But I do also wonder if being married has anything to do with it too. Like she was making some weird comments about this is a married vagina. Like it's changed so much. Like what? You know, that type of thing. So maybe she feels like now that she's married to this dentist, she has to, you know, pretend to be somebody that she's not. She can't, you know, be the same person who stands 10 toes down and who owns things and can confront people and whatnot. But either way, it is disappointing. It feels like I'm looking at a completely different person from, you know, who I was watching on Love and Hip Hop, you know, not that long ago.
So let's talk about the breakfast. So the breakfast that I had to replay so many times because I was so confused. Okay, Michelle comes down and she starts getting emotional at the breakfast table, and so everyone's like, "Oh my God, what's wrong?" Blah blah blah. And this is all triggered by executive producer Angela Oakley.
Exactly. Give it to her. Give it to her.
Executive producer Angela Oakley is the one who triggers this whole situation. And K. Michelle starts breaking down about someone plotting against her. She says someone called her the night before and told her that there was a plot against her. There was someone plotting about the Black connection, someone plotting about a disgruntled ex. So they flash back to the Cheyenne Bryant article about Mano talking about K. Michelle's nether regions. So Angela calls out, well, Shamia, you're making facial reactions here because K. Michelle is refusing to say who, what, where. Porsha's like, wait, whoa. She rubbing her down. Well, who's talking about you? What's going on? And you see Drew's just paying, just like, Drew's making faces too towards Angela, like, what's going on? So Angela calls out Shamia in her facial expressions. So K Michelle went to Shamia apparently and Kelly the night before and told them about this plot. Shamia says that she doesn't believe that. So then it shifts because of Angela talking about Shamia's facial expressions, and then the night before, you guys remember, K Michelle called out Shamia for continuing this beef with Drew, which I thought was interesting. Your own friend is calling you out about this beef with Drew. Just like, let it go. Like, why are you talking under your breath? Like, you're
Yeah.
obsessed with Drew at this particular point. What are your thoughts about the Shamia and Drew of it all? Because at the breakfast, it gets reignited again because Drew's like, why do you care how I react to the black situation?
It feels like a forced beef. Honestly, I feel like a lot of people's beef with Drew comes off as like forced. Even when Porsha was coming after her, when she came back from like, the broken marriage to Simon or whatever, and she had it out for Drew, but we never really understood why. And she was making up these rumors about her. Like, I don't know. There's something about Drew that makes her a target to people, in my opinion.
And I think it actually helps her on this show because at first I was sort of like, Drew, you get away from me with this whole black situation. But then when she called Kelly last week, misproportioned. I said, oh, there we go. Drew, contract renewal. But even this week, Shamia constantly attacking Drew. It just feels like what's happening here? Like, Layla, what are your thoughts on this whole Shamia and Drew of it all?
Well, for when the season first started, I couldn't remember why they were beefing.
You're right.
I'm a YouTuber. I'm supposed to know. I had to look it up. Like, why are they beefing? Because I could not remember. And that tells you how much sense it doesn't make. You know what I mean? I mean, it's a whole beef, but then every time they try to squash it, something comes up. So I just feel like it's manufactured. It's kind of like just for the camera. You know what I mean?
Who do you think is manufacturing it, Shamia or both of them?
Probably both, but I would say mostly Shamia, because to me, Shamia seems like the thirstiest. It's kind of neck and neck between Drew and Shamia, who's the thirstiest, but I want to say it's Shamia.
Yeah,
but I think so too.
Like that K Michelle, told Shamia, stop talking under your breath, just say what you got to say, or leave it alone. I like that she checked her on that.
Yeah, which stood out to me because I was like, oh, that made me think that this is mostly Shamia trying to keep this beef going between the two of them. You would have thought Shamia, who's not new to reality television, even beyond last season, she's not new to reality television. You would have thought after last season how that did not go well for her. She would just let this go when it comes to Drew. Like, you see Drew for what she is, but this constant beef, you blaming Drew and Angela for the downfall of your relationship with Porsha. You need to let that go because we know that stems way beyond Drew and Angela. Yeah. I don't get that. Like, you need to let that go, Shamia. Your issues, and I don't blame the cast for bringing up their issues because it's like an elephant in the room. You guys have not addressed that. You haven't made any sort of resolution to that. So as a part of the show, if I have to bring my story to the show, then so do you guys. You guys are in the same room that were best friends for how many years, and we're supposed to act as if there isn't some sort of drama? I don't get it. Okay. Look, okay. So after the breakfast, the two groups separate, the two teams, apparently. So we have Katie, Shamia, Kelly, and K Michelle. And K Michelle continues to be upset, and that's where she starts to reveal more. So she's over there, and then we have Drew, Porsha, Phaedra, Cynthia, and Angela go to Cynthia's room, and they're talking about it. So K Michelle walks outside. She starts crying again. K Michelle claims that Porsha, Phaedra, and Drew were going to confront her at the dinner about that whole VJJ rumor story. And also the black story of it all. K Michelle says that Porsha talking about the oysters had something to do about the rumors about her JJ not smelling so good because of the Mano of it all. We don't know if they were. We don't really know, but the production makes an edit to make it seem, oh, that's why Porsha was talking about the oysters the way that she was talking about the oysters.
Okay. To be honest with you guys, I feel like we're so much better than these storylines. It's just this oyster, it's just so deeply misogynistic, and I really am disappointed that it's what these girls have come up with for this episode and whatnot. It's just not a good storyline.
It's very low vibrational. It's very low
Yes.
vibrational. And that's why I feel like K. Michelle should have let whoever was going to bring it up. Like, let that come out of their mouth. You know, especially if you're trying to rebrand yourself on this show, you're not the old K or the new K. Don't go that low. Let them. If they're going to go low, let them do it.
And it's giving amateur. If we can see this and know this, K. Michelle, who's done years of reality television, I had high hopes for her. I was even associated. I say she could become the new Nene of this show. No.
It's only one Nene. Can I just say it's only one Nene?
I agree, but I said she could potentially become a star for this show. Yeah. And no, it's definitely not giving. That's like, girl, it's giving amateur at reality television. No matter how many times she wants to say, I'm not new to this, I couldn't tell.
Right. But do you think it's too much? Because she did just get married, I want to say like a few days before the show started filming.
Literally like 2 weeks.
Right. And so even though she had been with him on and off for 20 years, you know, marriage is still like a big thing, no matter how long you've dated the person. So do you think it's too much too soon with her getting married and filming reality TV at the same time?
No. Grace, you answer.
Real marriages are big things, but I do not think this is a real marriage. I think she wants to put on a different persona. And I think it's like you were saying earlier, she wants a diverse white audience. And so she's pretending to be somebody she's not. Like, oh my God, like these Black girls really fight like this? Like, heavens to Betsy, this is crazy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not it. She really completely changed her persona. Married woman now. I have to act differently. I'm trying to attract a white audience. I have to act differently. It's just, it's a mess. I'll be right back, you guys.
Yeah, no worries.
Grace dropped the bomb. I think she
dropped the bomb, and then she just runs. She runs and leaves us here. Really? Wow. Well, I mean, that does make sense. When you saw last week's episode, she mentioned how the white women reacted to Phaedra in the airport. I was like, I thought that was, you guys are reacting to my Nene association. I'm not saying that she could be literally Nene, but you need something there. You need a strong anchor, someone that is funny. When you look at some of the K. Michelle moments that were going viral, I think it was last year, and they were showing up on social media. I was like, well, K. Michelle really is iconic on reality television. And you're right, there is only one Nene, but I was saying, but this show, RHOA, needed a big anchor, a big voice that I don't believe Phaedra or Porsha have been able to bring. So I had high hopes for K. Michelle. Those hopes are lost. Those hopes are gone. Just saying. But anyway.
Grace, I think you're right about the heavens to Betsy of it all. Now that I think about it, that is what she's doing.
Yeah. It's really, really disappointing because, you know, she had it all. She had like everything that we needed, you know, for this new season and stuff, but she kind of just threw it away to present a completely different kind of, you know, persona and whatnot.
Yeah.
Well, K. Michelle then in this moment decides in her confessional to take some shots at Porsha, shading her go naked hair business, saying that it's synthetic and that she's selling it on Buford Highway. And then she says Drew is fighting for a home with a man in the basement. I mean, she's not lying there. But that I saw a spark of like, okay, there's the K. Michelle we've been waiting. But now this is what months later after you filmed the season, and now you're trying to deliver in the confessional. Then K. Michelle then talked about how many transformations her vagina has had. She says, I've gotten it tightened, tucked, snipped. This is a married vagina. Oh, I was very uncomfortable with some of this conversation.
Listen, me too. Me too.
Very uncomfortable. I was like, okay. So back at the ranch at the main house, we have Drew reading K. Michelle's tweets, because 3 hours before she came down for breakfast, we saw this in real time on social media, K. Michelle, and we're like, who's she talking about? Like, what's going on? We didn't know how many months later we'd be like, K. Michelle is paranoid. K. Michelle is delusional. K. Michelle, what is going on? So she reads the tweets. Porsha says she's confused with K. Michelle, would not confide in her because she doesn't feel like she did anything to K. Michelle. She feels like, you know, if she feels that someone's plotting against her. Angela says that Shamia is blaming them for the demise of her friendship with Porsha. I don't get it. I don't understand it. And Drew then brings up that the whole poor Phaedra eating dead people, and they were like, "What?
What was that?
It's like I eat dead people." Okay. Well, then
Yeah.
Shamia is in her feelings, and she calls the thong. I mean, not the thong. She calls the group meeting in her thong
Right.
as they're trying to get ready for Cynthia's big gala. So she's like, guys, I want to have a meeting. She calls this meeting and she says that she feels like everyone is blaming her for what's happening with K Michelle. And she wants K Michelle to clear her name in this moment. She says she says that that everyone can't focus. They're like everyone is making mention of Shamia's thong. I mean, she looks great. Okay, let's talk about the body. Let's talk about the thong. What did you guys think of Shamia? And because apparently Shamia got some work done. She looks great, in my opinion.
I thought she looked good too. I think the booty's a little exaggerated, but I like the stomach and like the boobs and stuff. And I love the color on her, like her skin and everything just looked so perfect and so beautiful. You know what? Shamia to me is she's like Barbie level pretty. I wish she would stop with these like auntie haircuts and stuff. I want to see her in like, I think she would even look so beautiful in like an afro, like, curly, like the Cynthia Diana Ross hair that she was doing, like something other than this. It's so bad to be. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I love the auntie haircut. Can I tell you this is my favorite look of Shamia? I love it. I think it's so cute. I love a little shortcut, a shortcut, and then you got your body. I love the.
What about a bob? A bob is cute.
I like the flip too. When she has the flip, she is like a doll. She is gorgeous. I couldn't get over the, holding a conference in your thong. I couldn't get over that. But it gave me insight into who Shamia is.
Okay,
Shamia she is thirsty. She wants to be seen. Yeah. That was it.
That's what you got. She wanted to have a moment. She wanted to have a TV moment. She wanted the focus to be on her. Because I was like, how is it this all become about you?
In a way, Michelle. It was the exact same paranoia as Michelle. Like, you guys are plotting and scheming. Kim Michelle said that this morning. What is this?
But Angela was blaming Shamia when they had that. I think it was on the bed. They were blaming Shamia, so I understood where she was coming from. But to me, just the fact of holding a meeting in a thong, I was just outdone.
Mind you, you didn't want to be at the pool house, but you were pool ready.
Right.
Just say both her and Kelly were pool ready. So like y'all didn't want to be at the pool house, but y'all got y'all thongs on, twerking and screaming over there. Lord have mercy. Thank you, Cynthia, for keeping them over there. Just saying. So she holds this meeting. She has this conversation. She wants K Michelle to clear her name. K Michelle denies that Shamia ever told her anything, and but she still wouldn't tell even Shamia who brought this information to her about this plot and plan. So this is where K Michelle and Drew go at it. They start getting crunk. Drew stands up. Drew's just like, "Oh, who are you talking?" Because she's confused. Like, why would I try to associate you with Black? And then K Michelle gets crunk, starts yelling at Drew and says that that she has enough men saying stuff about her. Kelly claims that Drew is sneaky, which we've all said, and will throw rocks and hide her hands. So Drew, after getting crunk, and they're getting riled up, and they're trying to hold K Michelle back. They're holding Drew back.
Mess. Yeah.
Drew goes inside. She FaceTimes with Black, and she tells Black what's been going on. And Black was like, "Why would you try to associate me with K Michelle? You barely want to associate yourself with me." And that's like, you know what? The man is making sense. Look, thirsty man is making sense. Shamia makes a good valid point because she says, I see a lot of representatives here for Porsha, because Porsha is bringing up, how people are talking about this plot and plan and her being a part of it. And she says, everybody's a go naked model. And I was just like, ooh.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's probably part of what is going on with Shamia. Shamia, the undercurrent here, it has to do with Porsha. It has to do with the fact that her and Porsha are no longer friends, and Portia's now sort of like really close with everyone else. So she feels like everyone's against her. Hence why she felt the way she felt about the pool house. Maybe?
Yeah.
I agree.
I can
agree.
see that too. Yeah.
Shamia
She
says,
wanted,
go ahead.
I was just saying she wanted to do the show so bad, but
Mm.
now it's at the expense of her friendship.
That's what I was thinking too. Like she probably thought it was going to fulfill something in her, but I don't think it's doing what she thought it was going to do. But I don't think she's going to stop because her like thirst is that, that deep, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But, when you look at her and you go, you got such like a nice life. It seems like, why do you need to do this? This is for the other girls.
She's got 22,000 square feet. I saw that on Watch What Happens Live. I'm like, I don't understand it. But people, even when they have the family, the fame, or not the fame, the family, the money, she wants the fame. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think, if anything, Shamia, you're going out sad. I think people liked you more when you were a friend of years ago. And now to see you in this role, they're just unimpressed. It's really sad to see.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Shamia says, I'm a Black woman, and our faces say it all, because Angela keeps bringing up about her facial expressions and things like that. So this turns into a fight between Angela and Shamia, because Shamia says that Angela and Drew keep bringing up beef between Shamia and Porsha. Shamia on Watch What Happens Live, she refused to really dig into what's happening between her and Porsha, and she's like, I'm just happy that we're able to coexist on this show. But Porsha, in her Carlos King interview, basically said that Shamia did something during this cast trip that was really below the belt. This is Porsha, so I need to see it first.
Same.
And then there were also rumors. I don't know if y'all saw the rumors. I don't know if it was true. I didn't report on it because it was on MTO about there being a physical altercation between Porsha and Shamia.
Yeah, I did hear it.
Porsha.
I heard it got
Porsha
bad.
strikes again, y'all. How many people has she beat up now? Mess.
OMG. So I'm going to wait and see how this all plays out. But again, I always remind you guys, for those that are just joining us, that we're watching an edited show. We're just giving our opinions on the edit. Okay. So if you're in your feelings about our opinions, blame the show. Okay. Blame the show. I'm here with the dream team. Grace Report and Lailah Lynn are here. Be sure to follow them and everything that's going on with them. Everything is available in the description. If you're listening to the podcast version of this, don't forget to give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. I do want to say thank you to our sponsors. Shout out to Hulu for sponsoring today's live recap of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Real talk. You live for reality TV. Every time it gets crazy, gets juicy, gets dramatic, and completely irresistible. And lucky for you, Hulu on Disney Plus does too, with the most unhinged and unmatched library of shows. Period. Turn on larger-than-life docusoaps like Season 4 of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives and the hit new series Love Thy Nader, featuring superstar model Brooks Nader and her sisters. Obsess over the seasons of iconic dating shows like Love Island UK and Farmer Wants a Wife. Get hooked on irresistible food competitions like MasterChef. Dive into hit game shows like Celebrity Family Feud, and revel in show-stopping fashion competitions, including the one and only Project Runway. Whatever it is you're into, Hulu has it all. No filler, no fluff, just thousands of episodes of the very best in reality TV every single day. Because Hulu gets real. Stream now on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus for bundle subscribers. Terms apply. Shout out to Hulu for sponsoring today's recap of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm here with the Dream Team. Grace Report and Lailah Lynn are here. Ladies, we got a couple of super chats, and we're going to round this out because I've already kept you here an hour and a half, so apologies. Thank you so much for taking the time out today. The K Perspective says, I think it's because she didn't want to be at dinner with no glam. That's different from sitting at the pool with no glam. Ladies, thoughts on that?
I don't get,
Because didn't she end up at the table still? She didn't sit down, but she ended up at the table.
But she looked good to me. Like, she didn't look bad.
I agree. I think she does have a lot of, when it comes to like insecurities about her face and body and things like that. So could be that. Don't be surprised if that tea about Kelly is true in regards to the married man.
Yeah, I think it's something to it. Because I think Dennis is the guy. Like, I feel like it's a lie mixed with the truth. But when Porsha did that TikTok live for Go Naked, I think, didn't she hint that Dennis was the guy that told her when she was like, I was with this guy and the married man was texting this guy and the guy turned out to be Dennis. I feel like it's something to it, but it's still a lie. It's all mixed up.
Rita, thank you so much for the super chat. Rita says, still at work and excited to watch this when I get home. Happy to see one of my favorite trios. Loved Grace at your London show. Oh, yes. Yes. Such a great time we had. Love from Germany. And we had Lailah there too, a part of the London show. Tier, thank you for another super. Tier says, K. Michelle saw the whitey women love Faye and now they are her best friends. Michelle's calculated. She's definitely calculated. Osen, thank you so much for the super chat. Osen says Porsha was right that Kay should have chosen the peaches over the plums. Damn. This episode did feel like a throwback to Nene's elephant party minus
Belle.
Here we go. Thank you. Wow. Tier, thank you for another super chat. K. Michelle married for the image on the show, not love. It definitely was giving that. And she told on herself. She told on herself during that interview with Jason Lee. I was just like, okay, now I'm looking at K. Michelle with the side eye. I've been really trying to give her some grace, but the grace is going. J.I., thank you for another super chat. J.I. says, Kay's read for Porsha's hairline did not hit. Porsha has 2 businesses that are selling and was just featured in Forbes talking about said business. Yeah. Thank you for another super chat. J.I. says Shamia had work done to mimic Porsha's body. Sorry.
I feel like Shamia's body. Yeah, last season it was so tea. I felt like Shamia's body looked so good last season. Like even before this work looks good. Yeah. But I felt like last season it was tea.
You know what happens when a lot of times when these housewives come on the show, so many people have such opinions about their style, their hair, their personalities. They end up getting very insecure, and that could have been probably part of her motivation. I just wish she would have been more motivated to shift the personality, not the body. That's me. Linda, thank you so much. Linda says, I love Kay, but she's reaching. Someone told you something, say it and keep it on the playground. Or keep it on the playground. Yeah. Exactly. Or let it play out. Let it play out. And then you can be like, and there it is. Someone told me that you guys were going to do it. But now you look like the crazy one.
Yeah.
So we see the ladies have that conversation. They, as you know, the whole point of this trip was to go to Dallas for Cynthia's tequila partnership with Adrian Malouf. Yes. So Cynthia is already starting to get ready. After having the conversation, they're going to get dressed up. You saw everyone get dressed up. Speaking of Shamia, why can't Shamia ever get it right? Like you could literally do the Dynasty in Dallas and still make it glam and still make it beautiful. She always looks like a clown.
I thought you could do the scene. I heard it in my head.
Yes. She's too rich for that. Like she's a rich woman, but she doesn't look rich, you know? And I'm like, and with all that beauty, again, she's so stunning. Like she could look so good, so rich, yet she just doesn't pull it off. You know, I put her in like a category to like Alondra. You know, those people with like these like beautiful, stunning, striking, regal looks where they look rich. They can look rich. Alondra does it, but I don't know. Shamia just, I don't know.
Alondra has a good team. That's what it is.
You know who's Shamia needs Drew's team because Drew's hair, it looks so good.
Go even naked hair
party. Yeah, Shamia needs go naked. You know what? Go naked ain't paying me. I'm not gonna say it.
You're right. They're not paying us either. We're not bringing it up no more.
But I'm talking about the stylist. Whoever styled Drew's hair, that's who Shamia needs on her team. Because Drew's hair.
But they also took a very long time. Drew ended up showing up late to the gala. They had a full-on party. 10:30. Drew is showing up. Here's the thing. I know some people say give Drew some grace. She did say she had a headache. But there is a pattern with Drew that we've heard over the last couple of seasons of her always being late. It's giving Dorit. I think that is so disrespectful. The whole point of this situation, this whole trip, was to celebrate Cynthia. Cynthia is supposedly a good girlfriend to you. I did see that she posted an apology on social media to Cynthia. Look, what did you guys think about Drew being late, Grace?
I thought it was so funny when she popped up as the girls were like coming out. I was like, she's so mesquite, this girl. She's like on her own little planet. And it's so funny because I remember this happening maybe last season as well, where she popped up as people were leaving. Wasn't she like alone taking pictures or something like that? And she had to stay upstairs. It was a Phaedra event, I
Yes, the
believe.
Phaedra event.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
It was traffic.
It is so funny to me. I think she's hilarious.
Layla, what did you think?
She's definitely hilarious. She is definitely a character. She's
Yeah.
entertaining. I just felt like she looked too good to be late. That's how I felt. I felt like, girl, you look too good to be coming in late. Everybody needed to see this look.
Yeah. Sidebar, did you guys see Jassy from Real Housewives of Potomac was at this event as well?
Oh no, I didn't see her.
not.
Yeah, she was, and then I saw pictures after the fact. If you pay attention to it, you'll see her there. But there are pictures now being posted in regards to Jazzy. Jazzy is going to be at the opening of an envelope.
Oh, she's thirsty too. How did she look? She's another really, really beautiful woman.
Oh,
Did she look good?
She looks good. She looked better than some of the people on this cast.
Okay.
Name them.
Name them.
Let's keep it on the playground.
Yeah. First of all, they had to drive an hour to get to this place. So, I think people are giving Cynthia grace, but I feel like there are little things. If this is Cynthia's trip, and especially right off of the whole angel of it all, they driving a lot. They're in that car a lot. They had to drive an hour to this venue, and apparently there was a hurricane coming. The gay man that was a part of the plan, he's crying on the phone. I said the gay man be doing so damn much. He's busy crying. Like, pull it together, sir. Pull it. And Cynthia's like, what's going on? What's wrong? So they had a hurricane. So they were supposed to be an outside event, but they ended up bringing it inside. It'd be different if it was outside and you didn't have an alternative of going inside. Why are you crying? Pull it together.
Right. He's so
together. So they go inside. They're planning this event. They're having a good time. They're celebrating this new tequila. She has this whole moment for the ladies. She wants to give one of the ladies a crown. So we get this moment where they're all coming down the stairs. Why does Phaedra do this? She's a grown woman. Phaedra comes down the stairs and she drops it like it's hot. And I'm like, what is going on, Phaedra? What are you? Okay, fine. Who do you think should have gotten the crown, Layla?
Oh, who was best dressed?
Not the late one.
I think she had the best glam. I'm trying to remember the dresses.
Oh, I know, right?
I love
You loved who?
Angela's. Do you remember hers? I didn't like her hair, but her dress was stunning. It was all white.
Her dress was it like pearls?
Yes.
It was really, yeah, you're right. It was stunning.
It was beautiful.
Her hair was terrible though.
It aged her so much, that hair. It was really, really bad. And then Phaedra, to me, honestly, it was stunning. The blonde hair with like the blue dress. Normally I cannot stand blonde, blonde wigs or whatever, but I thought that combination looked good. K. Michelle in her red, right? The rubies and stuff was beautiful. Like,
oh yeah, she did. You know, I might give it to Kay because she did look good. And this is not a pity vote because she was crying, but I do remember thinking she looked good. She looked very good. Yeah.
And the diamonds that Cynthia got everyone, they were all like wearing the different diamonds. I have to say, yeah, K. Michelle from head to toe looked probably the best. From head to toe, hair, makeup, but this was not her best episode.
No. But at least she looked good. At least she looked good.
At least she looked good. Those rubies were gorgeous. So Cynthia ends up giving it to everyone in regards to this. Oh wait, sidebar. Did you guys notice that, Porsha mentioned that the dresses she was wearing was from the reunion when she was pregnant with PJ?
Yes.
I guess they had taken in. I was like, oh wow, that's a little cute little throwback.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I thought that was cute as well.
Yeah. All right. So that's pretty much how the episodes ends, with Drew showing up very late. Everyone's getting ready to leave. And it's 10:30 and Drew comes in and everyone was like, huh? What's going on? Like, you really came? All right. So Cynthia at the end of this episode reflects on how the trip went. Oh, wait, sidebar. No. I cannot move past this because when they're doing the Queen of Tequila moment, Angela jokes in her confession. Angela is a really good addition. From her confessional to the moment, her executive producer. Like, she really is a good addition. Angela jokes. She says, if K Michelle gets drunk, she cries. If Pinky gets drunk, she throws up. And if Porsha gets drunk, she F's your husband. And she gonna have to answer for that at that reunion. But I was here for it. I was like, whoa, okay.
I think she had an answer for it because Porsha said it out of Porsha's mouth.
No, you're right. No, you're right. But we know Porsha is sensitive. So you know Porsha's gonna be like, really, Angela? Really?
She said it.
She did say it. You're right. You're right. Cynthia reflects at the end of the episode. She reflects on this trip. Everyone in the chat is saying that Cynthia needs a break after this vacation. Angela and Pinky squash their beef. She reflects. She says Porsha and Kelly called a truce and to move on. K Michelle gathered enemies like Pokemon cards. What did you guys think about the trip overall? At the end of the day, we're ending. The day's got to end, as Cynthia repeated, Glorilla. What did you think of the trip? You know, this is the first trip of this new season. This is sort of like a new chapter. Andy Cohen has already said that the door, he didn't say it like this, but pretty much he's basically said the door is closed on Nene coming back to RHOA because he feels like they found their footing with this cast. You can tell me what you think about that. But how did you feel about the trip, Layla?
I thought it was great. Like the whole room situation and the drama from that, I felt it was unique. There's always drama about the rooms, but being that Pinky was new and we had kind of two newbies, Pinky and Angela, going back and forth about it, and the real people playing victim weren't even there. I thought that was interesting. So I thought it was effective as far as giving people something to watch with the rooms, the whole situation with K Michelle, just the drama of it all. I thought it was a good trip, and we got legendary Cynthia. You know, Drew got baptized. Like it was good TV to me. It was good TV.
Okay, great support. What did you think of the trip? And then I want to know both of your thoughts on what Andy said about Nene.
Okay. Well, listen, I too am so happy to have Cynthia back and everything. And I thought she really raised the bar. To me, that had to be one of the best trips I've seen on RHOA, like the PJ, all that stuff, the diamonds and stuff. Like it was giving Beverly Hills, which I love for the girls. However, some of the fights that they were getting into, to me, were like way beneath them. You know, the stuff about the oysters, the coochie this, coochie that. I did not like that at all. I think that they could have done much they could have done much better than that. I wish that K Michelle had gotten it together so that, you know, if you want to cause drama, go ahead, but like not the paranoia, not the taking it to Twitter instead of confronting people in person, especially when we know that you're a tough chick. Like you really can, like, you know, go toe to toe with the best of them. You are the best of them. That disappointed me, but overall, I'm really happy with like the quality of the trip. You know what I mean? It was giving rich Real Housewives.
Okay. Thoughts on what Andy said about Nene's possible return, and your thoughts on whether Nene should return.
Ooh, who are we starting with, Kempire?
I would love to see her return. But I'm not sure where she fits in at this point, because it does seem like we have something going on with this cast. You know what I mean? The drama and everything. It does seem like we have something going on, and it's a lot of women. But I guess part of me is always going to love like the legend of it all, like the lore and the legend of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Nene is at the center of that. And I do like how Cynthia is Cynthia's position. Like she's a friend of the show, but she's also given like the OG veteran vibes. Yeah. And it makes me feel like that's what they want Nene to do. Like they wanted Nene to give what Cynthia is giving, and Nene didn't do it. And so now Cynthia is doing it. I hope Cynthia is getting paid like she should for what she's doing. But I think that's what they want from Nene. So if she can do that, if she can give them what they want, if she can give that OG veteran, you know, wisdom type of role, I would be here for it. But I still don't know if she would do it like how they want it.
Grace, thoughts on what Andy had to say?
You know what? The whole thing is so fascinating to me because I know that they're bringing her back for Ultimate Girls Trip, which to me, I thought that was like the gateway to her coming back to RHOA. And I noticed that Nene is kind of trying to get back in there because she did recently do an episode where she said that the door on her end is open for a friendship with Andy, even though Andy isn't responding. But at the end of the day, isn't it said that Andy doesn't really make the decisions like that? So why should we miss out on Nene on RHOA because of a personal beef between her and Andy? You know, that does not have anything to do with us. Like, let us enjoy Nene on the show.
Well, the top dog over there at NBC Universal basically said the door is not closed to the possibility of Nene returning. So you're right. At the end of the day, he wants to probably advocate. And I'm sure there are so many conversations that we don't see that probably would shock the audience in these boardrooms when talking about people like Nene and Andy. I wouldn't be shocked because at the end of the day, NBC's prime mascot is Andy Cohen. So they're going to value his thoughts and opinions and his wants over a Nene Leakes, for one of their many shows that he is a part of. So I believe we will see Nene return in some shape or form. I definitely think she'll finally do Traitors. I'm advocating for them to do an RHOA Ultimate Girls Trip Legacy.
Wow.
But I wanted to do that with a Kenya Moore, but right now Kenya can't do it because of the lawsuit from Brit 80. So I would love to see something like that. And I think that alone would be like, oh, we got to get this cast back together to do something. Maybe E will do the Golden Life RHOA.
That would be good.
Because those ladies are still very much interesting. They're still great television. And look, it's not lost on me that Nene became not great television towards the end, but she's been off for a long time.
I think she learned her lesson. She'll be better this time.
Whitney says that Kenya's on punishment. Lord have mercy. That's what it feels like. It feels like we're on punishment too. Sarah, thank you so much for being a member for a month. She says Shamia looked amazing on Watch What Happens Live. She's a beautiful woman. It doesn't take a lot for her to look pretty, but sometimes that's why it's so like dumbfounding to us that she could look bad. Like she figures out a way. She figures out a way. Ladies, you're going to have to come back to talk about the rest of the season because we still have the international trip coming up. Maybe after that, and then maybe after the reunion. I'm booking y'all now. After the reunion to talk about that. Final thoughts, though, on what we've talked about and what you're looking forward to, and just the episode alone, and what you think needs to happen with this cast.
Honestly, I would like to see some resolution. I want to see K. Michelle, kind of grow a pair and confront Porsha head on. I know she went for Drew because Drew is kind of like the easy target, but it felt like whatever she feels like Porsha said affected her more. So I want to see her confront that in person. And I just want to see Angela continue to kind of like run it her sophomore season. She's doing a really, really good job on that. And yeah, just overall, I don't know. Like, I'm liking the direction we're heading in so far, but just keep it, above these kind of like lame storylines about like body parts and whatnot, and too much, fighting for no real reason. And I want to see real stuff from Phaedra besides the one-liners,
Yeah. Like what's? I don't think Phaedra's going to give us anything real, to be honest.
Well, then should she be there?
Look, you don't want to ask me that because I've been saying that, but.
Yeah, maybe she should be there.
Mhm.
I
Or
would
be
want to
there as a friend.
maybe, but I want to see Sheree as a friend. I still want to see the whole storyline with Sheree. No, hear me out, Grace. Hear me out. Because remember, Sheree used to date Angela's husband. And when Charles Oakley came on Watch What Happens Live, remember he talked about traveling the world with Sheree. Like he had a little moment. He was reminiscing about Sheree. So I would like to see Sheree as a friend of the show, and let the two phone collectors go at it.
I was about to say because they give it kind of the same energy.
Yeah, that's what he likes. So I would like to do that. We can leave Phaedra because Phaedra doesn't give us her home life. She doesn't give us a real storyline, so we can leave out Phaedra. But and I also would like to see Shamia. I don't know. I think she needs maybe different production, whoever her producer is. I want to see something different from Shamia.
Yeah, me too. I want her to stop talking about Porsha. Like, you have so much going on in life. You are so rich. Show us that, versus the Porsha of it all. We get it. We had that last season. It was a really good storyline. But, sometimes they're like a dog with a bone where they keep on hammering on the same thing, even though we as an audience have moved on from that particular issue.
Yeah.
It feels like, though, for the rest of the season, there is going to be something when it comes to Porsha and Shamia, and it's probably going to play out during this cast trip. I feel like we're going to see the same seating chart that we got from the last reunion, where both Porsha and Shamia will be sitting next to Andy Cohen. Maybe K. Michelle will be sitting next to Shamia. And maybe Drew will move up and she'll be sitting next to Porsha.
Yeah. Since everybody want to come for Drew, you know?
I mean, she really should have been sitting a lot closer to ARG last reunion as well, because everyone was coming for Drew last season. It will be very interesting, and I hope you ladies will come back and share your thoughts and opinions. We had another super chat from J.I. J.I. says, Nene was not engaged and a mess her last season on the show. Do we really want her back? Both her and Kenya can stay gone. Okay. Okay, fine.
Nene was grieving.
I think life humbled her, and she might be a different person.
And Layla, you said that you think that she was grieving. That's why.
Yeah.
All possible. I think once we see Ultimate Girls Trip, that is going to even change the minds of people that feel like J.I., because there are quite a few people that feel that way as well. But I think a larger part of this, a lot of people want to see Nene back on their televisions. So, in any capacity.
Yeah, I think the girls trip, like you said, the legacy show, I think that would be good for Nene too. Yeah.
That would be fun, because it just be fun. It doesn't, no one needs necessarily to have a storyline. We're just having fun. We're just interacting with each other.
Yeah.
So, yeah, exactly. No, keep Shamia home though. I don't want to see Shamia on Legacy. Like I don't want to see that. Who do you want to see? Okay, I'm sorry, ladies. One more question. And before I do that, guys, we're almost at 1,000 likes, but we have like 2,400 of you watching across different platforms. Like the video, it's easy, free. Follow our guests. All of their information is available in the description. Don't forget to follow us on the podcast as well, the podcast. All right, and give us a 5-star review there, and join my mailing list. If you want to know where I went for my birthday, I'm dropping that on the mailing list, and exclusive tea. All right, who do you want to see, Grace, return on RHOA Legacy, the Ultimate Girls Trip?
Okay, so that would be, listen, I actually want Lisa Wu in there too, because I heard she's got a lot of drama going on.
You saw the news story?
Yeah. If we're all on the same page, yeah, I want that. Yeah. I want Nene. I want I can't even remember who else. I'm not partial to Sheree, you guys. I'm sorry. And I know people are gonna kill me for this, but I want to see Wig. I want to see that divorce drama.
Oh my God.
I really do. And the fact that like her ex-husband is dating her new boyfriend's ex-wife and all that stuff, I think that would make for a really good storyline. There's just so many people. What about Monique with a Y? Like, there's just so many good people. I want everybody together again.
You want Candy to come back too, so she can talk about her divorce drama?
You know what? Yeah, like I think that would be interesting as well. I want to know where she's at now and how, she feels about how it all went down. One thing about Candy is that she's going to lay it all out there. So I think it would be interesting to see that kind of play out. And, yeah. You're not here for it though.
RHOA Legacy.
I want to say, I think it was maybe I want to say either the season 9 cast or what was the cast with Claudia Jordan? Whatever season that was, bring Claudia and Nene, let them go at it. I would like to see Candy, and her give us an update. Who else? Lisa Wu. I do want to see Lisa Wu in the whole, stealing the house of it all. I wouldn't mind Kim Zolciak bringing the ghetto that she brings to the show. Who else? Who else do I want to see?
And it's funny because Lisa Wu is on Ultimate Girls Trip too, so that would be a perfect segue too for her to return Legacy. Yeah. And she has beef with Nene during. I'm assuming they're going to keep that in.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe Sheree. I'm trying to remember all the ladies that have been on the show.
I know. What about Shamari? I always think people want Shamari to come back.
Shamari, yeah. But see, Shamari. I loved her on the show, but I felt like she was a liability with the drinking. Like I felt like she put Bravo in a little situation. You know what I mean? How she was always drinking, even though a lot of the cats is always drinking. I felt like it was a little bit too much. But I loved Shamari on this show. I loved her on that other show she did too.
At Encore.
She's so talented. Yes.
Oh my God. She went to nursing school. She's a nurse.
Yes. I love that. She's a nurse. She has sister locks. Like she's living her life. I love that.
Yeah. All right. If you're watching the replay, someone said Bolo. Get out of here. Get out of here. All right, ladies, thank you. It's always so much fun when you guys come here. And thank you for spending almost 2 hours with me talking about the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Again, guys, if you're not following Grace Report or Lailah Lynn, what are you doing? Go follow them today. If you're watching the replay, be sure to let us know your thoughts and opinions on what we had to say, your thoughts and opinions on RHOA. I'll be live again later this afternoon because I know you guys have thoughts and opinions. You want to call in and share them. We're going to continue the conversation there. Ladies, thank you so much for being here. Be sure to follow them. Check out their latest videos and check out Lailah's school. Especially if you were trying to do what we're doing, this is where you get the information. Yes. Do it. Ladies, thank you so much for being here. Stick around if you can, because we can talk shop. Bye, y'all.
Thank you. Bye.
Here we go now.